What's up, fam? This is going to be your review of Insecure Season 3, Episode 4. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. It's a few days late, and I apologize for that, but we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. Issa dropped some. It's starting us off with a new rap. You know, we hadn't had one in a while. She's in the mirror giving us a new rap about her new apartment, her new thing, her new life, her new swag, and just as she really getting in the groove, knock knock at the door, it's Daniel. He's helping her move in, no problem. Things are real awkward between them. You know, she tells him thank you for everything and all that good stuff, but it's awkward. They're leaving things in an awkward space, so we'll see how that plays out. Um, then as Daniel's leaving because he done dropped off all the boxes, Molly's coming through, and Molly kind of got an attitude with Daniel, and I don't really understand where that's coming from, unless, which I'm sure Issa did tell Molly how the whole thing went down when Daniel kind of went off on Issa, but we didn't see that scene, so I'm just like, where the attitude coming from, player? So then Molly's trying, is giving Issa the whole new life, new me, and Issa was like, nah, let's not do that, because every time I start talking about something, it's a new me, new year, new me type of thing. I always end up in some old shit. And so Molly was like, okay, look, we ain't claiming that. This is a new start. This is a fresh start. We're gonna do some upward and better things. And she starts helping her unpack. She got her little starter pack. She got her air mattress. She got her some liquor for the bar, that kind of thing. But they get to unpacking, and Issa got all this old shit. First of all, I'm going to take exception, Miss Molly, to you hating on Zane, because I like Zane. And it's funny because I probably ain't read a Zane book in forever. But Zane was the shit back in the day. What you talking about? How you going to hate? Every once in a while, ain't nothing wrong with every once in a while pulling it off the shelf and getting a little nostalgia going. But anyway, she was telling her, so then she had mixtapes that Lawrence made her. She had birthday cards from people from forever ago. And Molly was like, how you going to start something new when you got all this old shit, all these memories, all of this for no reason? So she's like, look, we're going to start a trash pile. I'm going to put all this old shit in the trash pile so that you can, again, you got to have a fresh start. So then Issa's like, well, how things going at work? So Molly is still struggling at work to try to find her niche, try to find her where she fits in. And it's always hard at a new job because, first of all, you walking into a new job and people already have relationships and friendships and cliques and all of that. So that's already hard anyway. And then, you kind of got off on a bad foot because everybody felt like you kept comparing them to the white firm and, that you weren't really respecting them or looking at them, looking down on them a little bit. So you kind of got to climb that mountain a little bit. But Molly, she said, Molly, girl, you're going to figure it out. You're going to go in there and you're going to be, the lawyer that you are, and you're going to win everybody over. So we see Molly, we're going to get to that. So later on that night, Issa is still unpacking. She comes across her old high school rap book. And she talking about, yeah, I got some fire in here. You hear a little bit of her old raps from high school and shit. Now, why she still holding on to her? Then again, I got shit from high school, so let me not say nothing. I got shit from high school. Y'all, I was at a cookout yesterday. And when I tell you the mosquitoes tore, that's what I'm scratching my leg. The mosquitoes tore my legs up. Anyway, so, but then slowly but surely she starts pulling out all that stuff that Molly had thrown away. She pulls it out of the box and finds a reason to keep all of it, right? So again, she's back to holding on to this old shit. Because Molly was like, you got mixed CDs. Who even has CDs anymore? And mixed CDs? Issa talking about something. It's a lot of Adele on there. Who throws away Adele? Girl, bye. So, excuse me. So we see Molly at work. They're at their daily meeting or what have you, and Molly's trying to jump in. It's like double dutch. She's trying to get in where she fit in, and she was able to kind of get to, every time she had a suggestion, somebody had already sort of beat her to the punch. And finally, this one guy, he really talked over her. I mean, she couldn't get a word in edgewise, and everything he was saying, she was going to say, but of course, he said it before her, and it. So she was a little frustrated. And she goes to after the meeting, she sees two of the women kind of talking or whatever. So she went over to them and she's trying to start a conversation with them, and they're not making it easy for her. Like, they knew what she was doing, but they weren't really making it easy for her. So they were just kind of like, okay, so, oh, sorry, y'all. Whew. So they were just kind of like, they let her struggle for a little while, and then they finally kind of gave her they sort of gave her a little bit of a pass. They were like, yeah, so well, whatever dude's name is, they were like, he's not very modest. There's not a whole lot of modesty in Morehouse, which I took a little bit of offense to because that's my brother's school, so I really appreciate that. But okay, I'm gonna go with the joke. But yeah, so she but so that kind of broke the ice. She was like, oh, I thought it was just me, So that kind of broke the ice, and they were able to talk. And so she ends up volunteering to help them work on this case that they're working on. And at first they were like, no, we kind of got it under control. We're good. And she was like, okay. So they finally, they let her, they said, well, you know what? Sure. If you want to help, sure. And again, they know what she's trying to do. And I think they were trying to make it a little hard for her. But they finally acquiesced and said, sure, you can come ahead and work with us. In the meantime, Molly had gone to the dude from Morehouse and tried to sort of, I don't want to say she kissed up to him, but she sort of kind of went to him and was like, she could help him out with a case. She's just trying to figure out she's just trying to get a foot in. That's all she's trying to do. Well, when the ladies came back to her and said, well, we're going to get together tonight to work on whatever, Molly sort of hesitates and she's like, oh, it's going to be kind of hard for me to maneuver. Like, I already kind of, she was like, but no, I can't, because now they're giving her an opportunity, but she sort of had already planned something, and you see that she's trying to figure out how she could do both. Well, while this is going on, old boy from Morehouse comes up and says, come on, you ready to, talk about that case or, what have you. Now, from there, the women made the assumption that, I guess that's why Molly was going to be so busy later on. And I don't really know how I feel about that, because I'm like, if she got time to help everybody with their cases, let her help everybody with their cases. Why did it have to be a him or us kind of thing? But then I look at it from the point of view of they sort of vibed off of kind of hating on him, and there she is working with him now. So I can see maybe where both of that's coming from, but of course the women then was giving her the, oh, well, we see why you're busy now. It's okay. We got it under control. So, Molly's kind of like, fuck, like I done kind of burnt that bridge, and I ain't really do nothing wrong. And I don't really think she did anything wrong either. She just trying to get in where she fit in. I guess she just picked the wrong person, and he came out at the wrong time, because she probably could have made it all work. You know what I'm saying? So that's Molly's story. So let's get back to Issa. So Issa goes to work, and come to find out she's being taken off of desk duty. They're going to put her back in the field, probably because they need that color out there. But, and Issa is not as excited as you would probably expect her to be. She's still online she's looking at articles about how music education helps with test scores and things of that nature. You see all of these different, articles she's looking at, and you could tell that she was really, she's still stuck on that presentation she saw at the job fair from that other organization where they bring music and arts into the schools. And of course, you know how much Issa loves music and rap and everything like that. So you see her that she's really kind of like, you know how you think you good until you see something better, then you're like, damn, that really, like, me and my sister were just talking about this. Every time you have your car, you love your car is cool. But then you get a rental car and it's like the newer version, and you see all the bells and whistles of what you don't have, and it's like, damn, I thought I was cool with my car until I saw that car. And I think that's what it was. Issa was content or complacent. I don't want to say she was content. She was complacent in her job until she started seeing all the other possibilities of these other programs that I think she could get excited about. So you see her go to lunch, and she goes to the little taco spot, and she got her, her lunch, and she's doing her thing. And then all of a sudden, Norman, old boy that was in the Uber that beat up the Uber driver that left her the 50. I mean, the Uber dude that left her the $50 tip. Here he is, and it startles her to the point where she drops her taco on the ground. She's like, God damn. And he was like, oh man. He was like, is this the only place to eat? You know how he be hating on LA. So everything was, oh, this the only place in LA to eat? Oh, you. She was like, no, but it's good. And she's like, nah, but it's good, you know. And he was like, I bet it ain't even all that. She was like, whatever. She said, because it was funny because when she dropped the taco, he was like, oh, that looked painful. She was like, it was even more painful to live it. So he orders food, and he ordered her lunch again because she was like, you made me, it's your fault that I dropped my food. But come to find out, it's going to be an hour wait for them to get the food. And he was like, an hour wait? Like, so what are we going to do while we wait? We're going to go eat while we wait. We're going to go eat lunch while we wait for our lunch, And she was like, whatever, we could go down to Crenshaw Mall. We could do this. We could do that. So she starts playing tour guide. And they get to talking and having, a smooth conversation. Like, it's real smooth. And they're flirting and talking and flirting and talking. And she's getting these phone calls from the office because the old girl is like, so her job is calling, like, when you get back in town, when you get back in the office, we're going to talk about, you going out in the field and what schools you're going to go to and stuff. And she's steadily getting these texts, but she's still flirting with old dude. Like, they chilling like it's a Saturday afternoon and she don't have to go back to work. And we find out he's a barber. He's originally from Houston. He left Houston after the hurricane, after Harvey, to start over, start fresh. And so he starts asking her, well, when's the last time you were in a relationship? They start playing this truth or dare game. And, of course, she keeps taking truths because she's like, you ain't going to have me out here looking crazy. And, so she's showing him around or whatever. So they end up, he wants to see the jungle. He's like, is this where they filmed Training Day? She was like, nah, that's somewhere else. That's down in the jungle. He was like, well, is that far from here? So they go walking through there and, and they're having like a really good time. And then she says something about my best friend in high school lived right over there. He was like, oh, so he was like, I knew you was a little hood chick. And she was like, nah, I didn't grow up around here. She was like, I can show you where I grew up. So they go to her house. Issa grew up in a nice neighborhood with a banging ass house. But she said that, her parents sacrificed a lot to be able to buy that house. And she was like, yeah, and we, after the divorce, we didn't live here anymore. She was like, yeah, right after they built the pool. He was like, a pool? She was like, yeah, we ain't even get to swim in the pool. Like, they could have stayed together for us, so we could get a little pool time, But it looks like she lived there for a while, but then when her parents split up, they moved out of that neighborhood. But it was a really nice neighborhood, a really nice house. So he was like, truth or dare, She was like, I dare. He was like, I dare you to break in. So, of course, they break in, they get to the pool, but they technically they broke in. For real, they just walked through the gate. She knew how to open up the gate. So I guess technically they were trespassing, but they didn't really break in. So, like I said, they didn't really break in. They just went through the gate that she knew how to open. So now they're in the backyard where the pool is. And you saw it coming. So she was like, he was like, truth or dare. She was like, I dare you to get in the pool naked. He does it. And so she dares him to jump in the pool naked. And, of course, he does it. So then he dares her to do the same thing. And at first she was like, I'm not. I ain't take dare. I took a truth. He was like, okay, well, the truth is I'm about to dare you to jump in the pool. So, of course, she gets naked and she jumps in the pool. And it's funny because the whole time I'm sitting there thinking, like, so when the people who live there going to show up? They were like in the pool for a good minute. They splashing around in the pool. Like, ain't no neighbors called. Ain't no nothing. But they were having a really good conversation. And he was telling her a little bit more about his story. She was like, look, I'm telling you all my business. You ain't told me nothing. You about to start, you have to give me something. But one thing that was a red flag that I heard was she asked him about his last relationship. And he was like, yeah, I ain't really had no long relationships like you. Like, most of the women I dealt with, they was content with just living in Houston. They didn't really have aspirations for more. So I really haven't had a lot of long-term relationships. That's a red flag. I'm sorry. Y'all can disagree. But somebody that's old, he looked like he got to be in his, like, late 20s, early 30s. And you've never had a long relationship. Something ain't, some more something. To me, that's a red flag. That doesn't mean he can't never have a relationship. That's just me. I will proceed with caution. But she tells him about her rap journal and how she raps in the mirror. Like, she's really telling him she told him that she cheated on her last boyfriend. Like, she's really giving him, like, he's made her feel comfortable enough to just share a lot of her information with him. And so, um, then all of a sudden, the owner shows up and white guy talking about some call 911. That somebody done broke in the pool. So you see them jump out and they scrambling and they running off, and they laughing and everything, but they're running off. And he's like, all right, so what we gonna do now? So they go back and they get their food, which of course is cold by now because they done took the world tour. And Issa was like, well, I don't really live that far, right around the corner. I got a microwave, I can warm it up. So they go back to her apartment and they sitting on her boxes and they eating the food. And he has to admit that the food is good. He like, yeah, the food is kind of good. And they get to kissing. But they saved by the badass boy. I think it's the son of the lady that keep hearing the squirrels in the wall. She knocked on the door earlier. I forgot to tell y'all that. Earlier in the episode, it talked about there was some squirrels in the wall and that they was having babies. So he was like, my mama said we locked out of our apartment. She was like, oh, okay then. So she closes the door and he was like, what y'all? He was like, ooh, y'all sitting in here in the dark. What y'all doing? Y'all kissing? Which, of course, that's what they were doing. But I was like, it's always the little badass little boy. And so she closed the door to get the key or whatever. She was like, yeah, I got to go. He was like, well, he took that as his exit. He's like, well, I'm going to go ahead and head out. So he goes to open the door. While the little boy's standing there telling my son, my mama told me, wait. You better wait. If your mama said wait, you better wait, boy. You better wait. So remember when, like, your mother would send you with a note to it, like, or a teacher would send you with a note to another classroom and be like, wait for the answer, and you just be waiting, like. And the teacher was like, yes. Oh, she told me wait for an answer. Maybe that was my experience. Anyway, so that's how that ended. But it was really cute. It was like an all-day date. She was like, let's do it again sometime. He was like, yes, we must. So now they done seen each other naked, but they ain't had sex. They only had a little kissy kiss. They had a nice little kiss, but they had a great day. And I thought it was a good day for Issa. It was a really good day for Issa. Now, I forgot to tell y'all, Molly went to see her therapist, right? And Molly's telling her therapist about things at work and how things ain't going well for her at work or whatever. And then she starts talking about something about with Dro. Why her therapist ain't know who Dro was or know anything about Dro? Molly, it don't work the therapy can't work if you ain't giving the therapist everything they need. How your therapist don't know who Dro is and don't know nothing about Dro? Dro is a lot of your problem. The damn cat. That damn cat is out. I can't stand that cat. So Issa goes back to work the next day. Oh, that's the other thing. Old boy told her. She was telling him that she's kind of, not really happy with things at work right now, the way things are going at work. And he tells her, he's like, well, look, if you ain't happy with the way things are going, shake it up. He was like, don't be afraid. Like, you got to shake it up. You got to make a move. He was like, go for it. She was telling him how she really wanted to get more into music education. And he was like, go for it. So he was encouraging her to make a change. So she goes back to work the next day, and she's just looking around, and she's just looking at everybody just doing the same thing. Not, you can see that she just feels unfulfilled. And she's been feeling that way. Like, it's that same scene of her sitting at her desk looking around like, the fuck, how am I here? Why am I here? And she quits. So we're going to see what the next move is for Issa. But she quit her job. So that's what we sort of end off this week, y'all. It was a good episode. It was a really good episode. I don't know where this leaves Daniel. I don't know how he going to play in the rest of this season. But I'm interested to see where things go between her and Nathan. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.